Hello, my name is Garrett Barmore, curator of the W.M. Keck Earth Science and Mineral Engineering Museum, and welcome to Mineral Monday. Today, Dr. Paul White, professor of geography at the University of Nevada, Reno, and I drove up to Silver City, Nevada to visit the Donovan Mill. We are joined here by Stephen Saylor, the executive director of the Comstock Foundation of History and Culture, and Don Bergstrom, a director of the Comstock Foundation of History and Culture. So let's go on in and explore.
So Garrett, I love this place. I'm an archaeologist who studies past industry, and places like this are like my workshop.
So Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about your research and why you find the Donovan Mill so interesting?
The work that I do as an archaeologist is I look at the physical remains of industry. One of the things that to me is so fascinating about the Donovan Mill is that it's rare. If you go out on the landscape looking at mining sites, most of what you're going to see are just foundations and little bits of equipment lying about on the ground. But at the Donovan Mill, you've got everything here. You've got the structure, you've got the equipment still in place, and you can actually see aspects of what it was like to work in these types of facilities.
What are some of the things here that make it particularly unique?
I think the very fact that you have all the equipment in place, but beyond that, you've also got the little contrivances that people created in order to make their lives a little bit easier. So for instance, in addition to the timbers, because you have them preserved, you also have people writing on them. And right over here, what you have is someone just working on, they were cleaning up the work, they had a lot of calculations, and they ran out of paper. They just add them right there very conveniently, right on the wall. One of the things that I find interesting about milling facilities is that they might have been planned with blueprints, often they were not, but irrespective, they get added on over time because the ore body changes, because finances change, technologies change. What you have at the Donovan Mill is a mill within a mill. It's a prime example of this. And so you can see this wall behind us here. That was the original mill wall, and then you've got a later mill that's been built out towards us. So there's a history that you can actually read when you start examining the structure.
So Don, we're here at the Donovan Mill, but what exactly was the Donovan Mill used for? A lot of people when they think of mills think of flour or corn. What were they milling here?
That's true, I hear that a lot, but here they were milling gold and silver. Gold and silver ore that came from Virginia City, from Gold Hill, and from right here in Silver City. The first mill that was built here was built in 1860. So this has a lot of history, starting in 1860 up until now, 160 years worth.
So what are these large machines behind us?
Okay, these are actual stamps where the ore is crushed. The stamps actually crush the ore down to like talcum powder size. It really does a good job.
What are these large vats?
Well, that is used for the cyanide process, but backing up a little bit, initially mercury was used to extract the gold from the ore. But over time, we found out that mercury wasn't really good for a person, so there was a Professor Jackson and a Professor Phillips from UNR that bought this plant, and they started using the cyanide process to remove the gold and silver.
The Comstock Foundation is restoring the Donovan Mill. What are the Foundation's plans for the mill? What is the mill's future?
The future of the mill is that we will have it operating, portions of it, the stamps, the blacksmith shop. You'll be able to see with the operation and the blacksmith shop running, we'll have classes here and bring in students, and folks who want to come visit will be open to the public at some point. But for now, you can contact me through our website, comstockfoundation.org, and we book tours for people, private tours.
Remember, if you would like to learn how to support the Donovan Mill, you can find information on their website, comstockfoundation.org. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Mineral Monday.